What's up, folks? Today I'm going to be reviewing the game Bumper Cars. This game came out in 1987 from Parker Brothers, and it is for 2 to 4 players. Now, the object of Bumper Cars is you're going to be trying to get 4 of your cars into their designated parking spaces on the board. This game plays a lot like Parcheesi. You're going to be rolling dice and then moving your cars up the board, trying to get to the parking spaces. But you can also knock cars back to start if you're able to roll an exact count on one of the dice. And so, without further ado, let's show you Bumper Cars. Okay, everybody, we'll go ahead and start with all the components and everything. First thing you have here is the game board, and you also have a parking lot right in this section, and this is the main area where you're going to be playing. And the object of the game is you're going to try to get 4 of your cars into their corresponding parking space. So 1 would go here, 2 would go here, 3 would go here, etc. Now, you're going to basically pick one of the 4 colors over here. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you'll be moving along the board and then through the parking lot. Now, you also have some spaces here on the board that have different colors on them. These colors basically will correspond with your car. And if you happen to have a car on a color space that matches your color, you're going to be safe from getting put back to start, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to roll these 2 dice over here on your turn, and you're going to move any 2 cars of your color. Now, you have to move 2. So in this case, I could simply go 1, and then I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you can move forwards and sideways, but you cannot move backwards and diagonally. And then so the next player would go, and let's say he rolls a 2. In this case, he rolled doubles. So green could go here, and he could also go here, and then he can also roll again since he went ahead and rolled doubles. Now, the way you're going to end up sending a car back to start is, let's just say it was green's turn, and he happened to roll a 3. What I could do is I could move my green car 1, 2, 3, and since I landed on the spot by exact count, I would knock him back to start. Now, this would not be true if the yellow car was on a yellow space. He would be safe there. Now, there may be times throughout the game where you're only going to be able to move 1 car. In that case, you would just simply choose the die number that you would want to move the car. Now, you're allowed to skip over cars, so if I happen to roll, say, a 6 over here, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and skip over him like that. I won't be sending him back to start that way. Now, once you get to this section over here, let's say I'm here, got a car here and a car here, I'm going to have to choose which direction that I want to go. I'm not going to be able to backtrack. So what I could do is, let's just say it was yellow's turn, he rolled an 8, so I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to get 1 over here, I would have to roll a 3, but I would have to do it by exact count. If I end up rolling more than a 3, I'm not going to be able to move past this. So in this case, I would just stay there. So anyway, what you're going to do is everybody's going to go ahead and roll the dice and move their cars up and try to send cars back to start. And the winner of the game is going to be the first player that is able to get all 4 of his cars into their color-coded parking spaces. And that, folks, is Bumper Cars. So my final thoughts on Bumper Cars. Well, I first heard about this game via my friend Mal Wilkins with one of his board game reviews, and I found this game on Facebook Marketplace. I was actually planning on getting Electronic Mall Madness, the 80s version, and this guy actually brought a few other games with him, and he brought this one. So I went ahead and purchased it, I think, for $1. If you're a fan of the Parcheesi game, this is a game I think that you will enjoy. It's very, very simple. I think it's a little bit more geared towards kids, but it certainly can be enjoyable nonetheless. Now, this is a very simple game. Not much thinking that's going on in this game. I mean, I don't know as far as strategy if there's much there. You're just simply trying to capture people's cars and get them back to start and trying to be the first person to get your cars back there. So it's a racing game of sorts. Very light game. It's not that expensive either. I think you can get it for maybe $15 on eBay or so. It's a good game to play with the kids, I would think. It's simple enough for adults. This would be a game that would probably work good as a little filler game. I played this game once with my family, and I think it took maybe 25-30 minutes to finish, but we enjoyed it. So if you're a fan of Parcheesi, yeah, I would recommend getting this game, and if you've got kids, it's certainly one I think that they would enjoy too. It's always fun sending people back to start, especially when they're right in that parking area getting ready to get into their parking space. Many times I ended up getting busted or somebody else got busted, and man, it was very satisfying because sometimes the game would get really, really close. So, guys, would I recommend this game? Yeah, sure, I would recommend it. But again, it just depends on the types of games you like. This game may be too simple for you. But if you're into simple little games, filler games, this is not a bad one to get. So, guys, that's my review of Bumper Cars. We'll see you later. Keep on gaming.